Court. Hey, Jerry, thank you so much again. Love that we just talked about the Dallas Fort Worth market. Again, Frank Ferdowsi with Sunday Hill Partners. Looking forward to helping some clients in VC and tech and other affluent clients around the world. Help them find ideal properties in Texas. We're going to talk about the Austin market now, but let's do a quick intro for you and then you can talk about the Austin market. Take it away, sir.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thanks for having me, Frank. My name is Jerry Mooty, Mooty. A lot of people spell it DY, but mine is TY, and I am the CEO and principal of At Properties LoneStar Christie's International Real Estate here in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Austin. So we've got pretty much all of Texas covered, all the way from the border of Oklahoma, all the way down through Central Texas, all the way through Austin, the Hill Country, and bleeding into San Antonio here recently. So very excited to be here, and thank you, Frank, for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jerry, for making time. And as I was sharing earlier, we're very fortunate to be working with a professional who has such a broad coverage in such a big state, and it's very ideal. You talked about your experiences working in the law and technology, and I think all of that bodes really well for our forward-thinking clients. But focusing on Austin right now, could you talk a little bit about the market? What are pockets that have traditionally be of interest? Areas that are good school districts, and just in beyond what that's like. Everybody's heard of the lifestyle of Austin; it's world famous. But to hear from you talk about it as a real estate professional, I think would be very helpful.
Yeah, great. So, as part of my background in law, I had an office in Austin for about 10 years. So, from 1999 to 2009, my kids attend University of Texas right now, and we launched our Christie's brokerage about a year ago and have about 100 agents operating down in Austin. So, I'm very familiar with Austin, been going there for 20 plus years. It's really a fascinating community. I know we talked about Dallas and Fort Worth, but Austin is its own animal. It is really just a different culture down there. It's kind of hard to say, and I don't want to sound pretentious, but you got a guy in ripped up jeans and cowboy boots and a t-shirt, and that guy's probably a billionaire down in Austin. And so, you got all kinds of different things that come along with Austin, with the music, with the tech companies that have been moving there. And topography is really one of the main reasons Austin is so popular. You have the Colorado River, which winds down and makes three or four different lakes. You have Horseshoe Bay that feeds into Lake Travis. Lake Travis feeds into Lake Austin, and Lake Austin feeds into what we call Lady Bird Lake, which is downtown Austin. And so along this river that intertwines through the hill country, you have all these different pockets of real estate. So you have some that are focused really on the lake side, which you would envision with ski boats and all that stuff going on the lake, with bars and restaurants along the edge, with marinas. And then as you move down closer to downtown Austin, you have mega mansions, 25, 30, $40 million mansions that are sitting up on the hilltop. Some of them have trains that bring them from the house down to the water side. And so obviously that brings in all different levels of income.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that's been exciting over the last 4, 5, 6 years is watching, all the different companies move here. Obviously, you got, the most notable people in the world are moving some of their headquarters there. And so that's just bringing an extra flash to the city.
Yeah, I love it. And it's always been a cultural city, food, music, and then certainly now it's really stood out. Like you said, it's got this flash because there are all these companies moving out from different parts of the world, and certainly notably from California into the Austin market. And then Austin is also a technology hub, so a lot of our clients are very familiar with that market as well. And I really like the explanation that you gave, in the context of the river and how there are all these pockets. But could you also talk a little bit about what it's like, maybe a little bit outside? So this is Austin itself. I'm sure there's more coverage beyond. And is there coverage from the Land and Ranch group in Austin as well?
Yeah. So one of the ways Central Texas is described as the hill country. So, a portion of Austin is part of the hill country as you're moving west from downtown Austin. But then you bleed into some really, really neat communities, some wine vineyard areas. You got areas called Bernie, Texas, which is ranchettes, big developments with maybe 100 homes on 500 acres.
Hmm.
You have Dripping Springs, you have Spicewood, you have all these different areas that are part of the hill country. And what makes the hill country really fascinating is it's usually about 10 degrees cooler than the rest of the hot areas of Texas. So if it's 90 degrees in Austin, it might be 80 degrees in the hill country. Same with San Antonio, same with Dallas. So that's really where, if you look at how Austin has grown, it's grown really west, whereas I mentioned earlier Dallas grew north towards Oklahoma. But it's really the topography, the temperatures, and just a better way of living out there in the hill country.
Man, I'm telling you, we certainly my team and the clients are very fortunate that we'll be working with you, someone who knows the market and how it's grown for the 20 plus years or so. So thank you very much for that explanation. It's good to know that the growth is on the left. What am I saying? The left, the west.
The west, the
That's
left.
that's exactly right. But and not that it needs to be really explored too much, right? Because the whole world knows about Austin. Um, Austin city limits in itself is just world famous. But would you speak to just from what you may have seen recently, if there's an evolution in the culture, the music, the kinds of events that you're seeing, food scene? Could you speak to a little bit about that?
Yeah, so all those things are really what has made Austin so popular. So you have a wonderful entertainment sector of the community, all the way from live music, and I'm down there all the time. So I mean, I'm probably in a venue with live music going on 2 or 3 times during my time in Austin, and I may just be there 2 or 3 days. But then as you look at the food is really fantastic. They have wonderful. I think if I'm remembering correctly, they just got a Michelin star, or maybe the second one there. Dallas doesn't even have one. So you get all levels. And again, back to being in Texas, you have this Tex-Mex, which can range everything from just regular crunchy beef tacos all the way to these exquisite Tex-Mexican dishes that have guacamole and all these things on it. So it's a different type of cuisine that you can find anywhere. I always laugh when I go anywhere else in the country and they say they're serving Mexican food or Tex-Mex. Go have it. It's just doesn't even compare.
It's not, yeah, of course, it's incomparable. But
Yeah.
I love that, and thank you very much. And certainly the music, we'll give a quick shout out to Val again. Val is Jerry's son who has his own band. If you want to touch on that a little bit. And are there other things that you see culturally happening in Austin that's different and unique?
Yeah, so I think one thing I left off was you have Austin City Limits, which is a 2 week festival in the fall coming up here in a couple of weeks. And then obviously you have the huge national, international focus of South by Southwest, which is in the spring. And that all has been revolves around music, but now is bleeding into other areas of our community through the tech world and through DJs, through all this stuff that's really bringing the focal point on that. So yeah, my son is just graduated from University of Texas. He's the lead singer of a band called Mango Coast. His name is Val Mooty, VAL. He's got a Spotify account. He's putting out music on his own. That's kind of singer-songwriter type. So very proud of him. But anyway, I've been inundated in the music industry since he was 9, and he started playing the guitar, and then putting this band together was pretty cool.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And Val, shout out to you. We are all proud of you. I look forward to listening to your music. It's hard work, I know, but congrats on the work that you're doing. And Jerry, seriously, I'm very, very grateful to you for explaining Austin, the cultural scene, and the real estate in the context of the river and how it's been growing out westward. Could you speak a little bit, and I think this will be the last thing that we'll touch on for now, is what are the private aircraft access points for the Austin market? Maybe the main airports, and if there's anything else that you'd like to touch on in that regard.
Yeah, so in Austin, they moved the major airport, the international airport, just outside of Austin, out by the new F1 racetrack, which is a huge popular event that happens every year at the end of October. So that's both commercial and private aircraft. So you have everything from, you know, personally owned aircraft all the way through your private, fractional ownership interests and just about everything you can imagine in a city like that. And then throughout the Hill Country, whether that be the San Antonio International Airport, but also Horseshoe Bay has a private airport. There's probably several others. When you're getting into this area of Texas, some of these ranches are so big they have their own landing strips.
Uh-huh.
So I
Very
mean, you're
nice.
talking 20, 30,000 acre ranches for hunting and entertaining that people fly out and land their private aircraft right on their own ranch.
I love
Um,
that. Go on, please keep going. Sorry.
so anyway, I know we talked about it earlier, but that was one of the things I kind of left off was our different divisions for our company. Is we have a land and ranch division, which focuses on large tract ranches, everything from what a developer may want to purchase and develop, or just a high net worth individual who wants to own a large ranch for hunting or entertaining. We also have a sports and entertainment division, which focuses on representing, celebrities and professional athletes. And we have a development services division that works with developers all the way from the raw land portion all the way through building the homes, the high rise, the multi-use development all the way through completion and sales.
Very
So
nice.
pretty wide range of stuff right now.
I love that. And we're gonna touch a little bit on after we stop recording on that last piece. But I'm very grateful. I feel like I've just connected with the absolute right person for the Texas market, and I feel very fortunate again. And I look forward to working with you, and helping all of these clients of ours. I know you have a whole team that will help us, not necessarily directly yourself, but I'm very, very glad that you and I have been able to connect, text. You'll hear from me, and we'll work on helping these clients with a high touch service together. I'm gonna stop recording here. Thank you.